Do you think that if you ask for forgiveness, everything will be fixed? Will it? That's what you think, isn't it? You know what's funny? The number of people who believe that if they apologize, if they say, "Forgive me," everything will be fine. The wounds will disappear. The pain will vanish. But you don't understand any of this, do you? Forgiveness is an illusion, a lie, a getaway that you try to use to hide from the monsters you've created. You did what you did because you wanted to. Every choice, every act was your decision. There was no mistake, no misunderstanding. It was all calculated, all conscious. And now you want me, or anyone else, to just accept your words and give you a new start. It's not going to happen. Not while what you did is still there, slapping me in the face. Forgiveness won't erase the pain, the destruction, the lives you've ruined. There's no fixing that. It won't be mended with empty apologies. So tell me, what exactly do you think will change here? Tell me something. Do you think this pain you caused will just disappear with a simple apology? That I'll look at you and think that because you said, "Forgive me," it'll erase everything that happened? There is no forgiveness for you, man. It's not going to happen. What you did, the harm you caused, can't be erased with words. You can't just go around destroying people's lives and then come back asking for forgiveness when you realize things got ugly for you. Forgiveness doesn't exist once you cross a line, and you went way beyond that. Now, here you are, bound, begging, but nothing's going to change. Nothing you say will make a difference. The only thing you've done is dig your own grave. And it doesn't matter how much you apologize or how much you regret it now. What you did has no forgiveness. And that's what you're going to learn, what you'll understand as you feel the weight of every act, every choice you made. Because in the end, you're alone here. No one's going to save you. No one's going to give you a second chance. Not after everything you've done. Do you think I'm like them? The ones who walk around preaching forgiveness? The ones who think that if someone repents, everything can be forgotten? If you really think that, then you don't know anything about what justice is. Justice isn't about pretty words. It's not about apologies or last-minute regret. Justice is about action. And what you did was an action. You went there, made choices, took actions, and destroyed. Now you want me to look at you and say, "It's okay, you can move on." I'm not that guy. I'm the one who's going to make sure your choice has a consequence. And it doesn't matter how much you wear yourself down trying to convince me that you're sorry. Regret changes nothing. Things don't get erased. You're not going back in time to fix your mistake. You won't be able to look back and say, "If I had known," because you knew. You knew exactly what you were doing. Now you're going to pay for it. What you did was the choice of someone who has no idea what they're doing. You thought you could go around breaking rules, destroying everything, and then go back home, sleep soundly, and wait for the world to forgive you. That's not how it works. That's not how the world works. Forgiveness isn't a coin you can just spend whenever you want. You thought no one would notice. You thought the system would protect you. But what you didn't see, what you didn't understand, is that you were never untouchable. The world's not fair, and when you choose to be a monster, There's no turning back. There's no more sorry. There's no more space for regret. What you have now is the consequence of what you did, and you're going to pay for it. Tell me, do you feel anything now? I know you do. No matter how much you try to hide it, I know that inside, fear is starting to take over. It's not just the fear of what I'm going to do. It's not just about that. It's the fear of realizing that, finally, you're paying for what you did. You know, it's funny, because when you did what you did, you didn't think about the consequences. You didn't think about anything other than yourself. Now you want everything to be forgiven with a phrase, with a request. But when you were there, making your choices, you didn't care about what you were destroying. So what do you think is going to change now? What do you think is going to happen if you try to justify yourself? Nothing's going to change. Nothing will erase what you did. Because in the end, you'll understand the only thing that matters here is justice. And you're going to pay for it. I'm not your savior. I'm not here to give you a second chance. No matter how much you want to believe it, you're no longer in control. You lost that. You lost your chance when you started doing what you did, when you decided to be the kind of person who doesn't care about anyone but themselves. Now there's no more space for regret, no more space for words. What exists now is the consequence of your wrong. And when you did what you did, you knew this was coming. You knew that one day someone like me was going to show up at your door. And no matter how much you try to convince yourself that words can change destiny, you know they won't. There's no sorry that will erase what you did. And in the end, you'll learn the lesson no one taught you. You'll learn that things don't work the way you imagine. You'll learn that forgiveness is just a lie you told yourself. You'll learn that the only thing that matters when you cross all the lines is justice. And it's going to come. Not in a gentle way. Not in a way you'll understand until it's too late. You'll see what happens when you decide to be the monster. And when that happens, you'll realize there's nothing after. No forgiveness. Only the consequence. Do you think you're the beginning? Did you know that? Don't think you're special. You're not the first, and you definitely won't be the last. Because there are so many like you out there. Men who think they can do whatever they want. Men who cross the line and never look back, believing no one will notice. But I see it. I see it all. I find them, and I make sure each and every one of you pays for it. So when you look at what's left of you, remember it wasn't a mistake. Remember that I came to you for a reason. And I'll keep doing this. I'll do this as many times as needed until everyone understands what happens when they decide to take the path you chose. There is no escape, no mercy. Maybe while you're sitting there, you still have some hope. Maybe you think I'm just an exception, that I'm here to solve a specific problem. But let me tell you something. This doesn't stop with you. It won't stop as long as there's someone out there who thinks they're untouchable. You crossed the line, and now you're going to feel the consequence. And anyone who did the same, who thought they could follow in your footsteps, will learn the same lesson. They'll realize too late that they chose the wrong side. Because when it comes to men like you, men who destroy everything around them without remorse, I am the final line. I am the last thing they'll see. I know what you're thinking. You're wondering why I do this, why I care, why I don't let others bring justice. But here's the problem. There is no justice for someone who does what you did. There is no redemption for men like you. So I do this because I am the last barrier between what you are and what the world still could be. And as long as there's someone who thinks they can walk around destroying what's sacred, I'll be there. And I'll do what has to be done. Understand this. I don't do this for pleasure. I don't do it out of hatred. I do it because it's necessary. And as long as there's one more like you, I'll keep doing the same, one by one, until there's none left. You all think you're safe, that the world is full of opportunities, that you can do whatever you want without thinking of the consequences. But what you and others like you don't understand is that this only lasts until someone decides to do what needs to be done. You can think of me as a freak, a mistake, but I am the correction. I'm what shows up when everything has already gone wrong, and now I'm here to make sure nothing goes unpunished. And you can scream, you can beg, but you and everyone who crosses this line will understand, sooner or later, that someone is always watching. And when I'm there, there's no turning back. It'll be exactly like it is now. You think this is the end, but for me, this is just another step, because I'll leave here, and I'll find the next one, and I'll do the same thing to him, and after the next comes another. This doesn't end until everyone understands that the line cannot be crossed. I'll do this until anyone who thinks like you knows that someone is waiting for the moment they'll make the mistake. And when it happens, I'll be there. I'll be there just like I was for you. And no matter what happens, I'll keep going, because what I do, the way I do it, leaves no forgiveness. There's no escape. Everyone who crosses that line gets exactly what they deserve, because I am the end of the line. I am the consequence.